Our next talk is Quebec's only Gentainella quinquefolia by Nadia Calvallin from the Royal Botanical Gardens.
Good morning. Let's imagine we're back in oops, where's my picture? What do I do?
One of the arrow keys down or...
Okay, there it is. All right, so now, let's imagine we're back in 1827 when Lady Dalhousie collected this specimen of Gentainella quinquefolia. If we were in the company of Lady Dalhousie, ladies, we would be wearing long dresses with full skirts, a corseted waist and puffy sleeves. Our long hair would be tied up in a bun, and we'd have carefully curled strands by our temples. Gentlemen, your waistlines would look unnaturally narrow too. You'd be wearing a girdle to achieve that fashionable effect. Your double-breasted coats would be buttoned high in the chest, and you'd have stiff high collars framing your face and your broad cravat. In 1827, we were still 40 years away from Canada's Confederation. Lady Dalhousie, whose birth name was Christian Brown, followed her husband, George Ramsay, 9th Earl of Dalhousie, everywhere he went in his military career, everywhere he went in the British Empire during his military career. In 1827, they were stationed in Quebec City. At the time, Lord Dalhousie was appointed Governor-General-in-Chief for the British provinces in North America. The Dalhousies were patrons of social and cultural institutions, and they were among the founding members of the Literary and Historical Society of Quebec. With all that, they didn't like Quebec City, so they spent as much time as possible away at their summer residence in Sorel. Sorel is in the southern part of what is now the Canadian province of Quebec. It's about 70 kilometers down the St. Lawrence River from Montreal. Sorel is where the botany happened and where Lady Dalhousie collected this specimen of Gentainella quinquefolia, or stiff gentian. Lady Dalhousie owned a substantial botanical library. She identified her specimens herself. Because of the nomenclature that she used on her specimens, then we know that the flora that she used was Pursh's 1814 Flora Americae Septentrionalis, which was the standard flora for the area at the time. There have been many changes in life since the 1820s, and one that I'm particularly grateful for was the addition of dichotomous keys to botanical manuals. This specimen did not stay in Sorel or even in Lower Canada, which Quebec was called at the time. Lady Dalhousie sent many of her specimens back home to Scotland to Sir William Hooker at the Glasgow Botanic Institute. She aspired to send him rare plants for his work on the Flora Boreali Americana, which later became the standard reference for what is now Canada. This specimen, though it was definitely a rare plant, was not among the ones that she sent back to Hooker. It did, however, make its way back to Scotland. It was rediscovered about 160 years later at the ancestral home of Lady Dalhousie's family, together with about 300 specimens that she had collected in Lower Canada. Royal Botanical Gardens in Ontario bought the collection, bringing back home specimens that are among the oldest records of Canadian plants in Canadian herbaria. This specimen extended our knowledge of the historical range of the species by about 300 kilometers to the northeast. It's also the only specimen documenting this species in the province of Quebec. At Royal Botanical Gardens, Dr. Jim Pringle, who's our plant taxonomist, researched the botanical work of Lady Dalhousie. He wrote a paper in 1995 on this collection. We used the information from his paper to create a new contemporary herbarium label, and we affixed it onto regular herbarium paper, such as that. And we cleaned up Lady Dalhousie's specimens, placed them on the paper, and here we have our Gentainella quinquefolia from Quebec. Thank you.